It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this Wednesday, the 11th day of May, 2022. Coming to you live from Ketchikan, Alaska, or somewhere close to that. We'll be in Ketchikan today. I'm going out and playing lumberjack. I'm going to go cut down a tree. No, I'm going to go jump in the river and do the spinny thing on the log. Yeah, that sounds like more like my style. No, not. But anyway, it's a cold, rainy day here in Alaska, but I hit the milestone this morning, folks. I hit my 50th state today, so today's a celebration day for me. Today is National Eat What You Want All Day. So, if you've been not eating some certain things, go ahead and eat them today. I know I'm planning on it. Of course, I'm going to eat some things that I should eat too today, but that's neither here nor there. We do have some cruise ship sailings from North America ports today. Up in Toronto in Canada, the MV Victory gets underway. Los Angeles, San Pedro, the Island Princess. Up in Seattle, New Amsterdam's Land and Sea packages start today. In Anchorage, the Majestic Princess Land and Sea package get underway. Up in Fairbanks, you got Majestic Princess Land and Sea package, Grand Princess Land and Sea package, Royal Princess Land and Sea package. Vancouver, the Grand Princess Land and Sea package, the Zuiderdam. And out in Honolulu, the Pride of America's Land and Sea package gets underway today. All right, headlines on this morning's show. The Godmother for Celebrity Beyond is announced. New issues with Carnival Breeze, Carnival Valor, and Crown Princess. British Airways cancels a bunch of flights yesterday. Kickoff for Margaritaville at sea. And New Zealand, yes, New Zealand, folks, is finally going to get their borders open and cruises restarted. Finally. That and a lot much more live at 11 o'clock. If you listen via the podcast, welcome aboard. You can always access my podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from, all the big guys, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Pandora, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, any of them. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the fat travel guy. And as always, folks, I will be posting video clips and pictures when I'm out on an adventure like this. So there's always going to be a video link. All you have to do is go to the description of the podcast, click on the video link, and flip over to the video side of things. And don't forget, in collaboration with Chillie's Cruises for Solos, and Shelby at TravelFun.biz, we got a group cruise coming up. And from Miami on December 4th on the Norwegian Encore. Talk to Shelby. She'll hook you right up. Lots of solo cabins are still available. All right, I'll be back with today's news after a word from one of our network sponsors. All right, on with today's news, folks. Celebrity Cruises has announced the Godmother of the newest Edge class ships. Come on, tongue. The newest Edge class ship, Celebrity Beyond. 19-time world champion, 7-time Olympic medalist Simone Biles will be Godmother, officiating the vessel's christening ceremony in Fort Lauderdale on November the 4th. Simone says, I have a lot of great memories of cruising with my parents while growing up, so I'm beyond excited to serve as Godmother of Celebrity Beyond. I'm honored to join such a distinguished group of game-changing women and appreciate the important message this designation holds in recognizing our accomplishments and hopefully inspiring the next generation of women. Of course, Simone will be with Captain Kate, one of my favorite people in the world. Captain Kate and her cat, Bug Naked. I just love that cat. It's so ugly. Carnival Cruise Line today has contacted booked guests and travel partners for all kinds of itinerary changes for the Carnival Breeze and the Carnival Valor. And these are all minor. It's not anything major, folks. I'm not even going to go through it, and they stretch it out over 3 years. But mostly they're changing times and port calls. They're flipping some ports, like going to Costa Maya one day and Cozumel the next, rather than Cozumel first and the Costa Maya. Silly. And then there's 1 or 2 days where they're going to Progreso instead of Costa Maya. But they're all minor changes. But there's a bunch of them. So if you are scheduled over the next 3 years on Breeze or Valor, and you care about the times on ports of call ahead of time, check it out, because it might have changed from what you originally had. And of course, they sent emails out to everybody affected, so you probably already got an email about it. Now, not so much on the Crown Princess. It's only resumed service this week after a first cruise more than 2 years, experiencing ongoing engine issues that have required more itinerary changes and even some port cancellations. This is in addition to changes that were announced a week before the sailing due to the scheduled maintenance on one of the ship's diesel generators. Now, yesterday, British Airways canceled more than 120 short-haul flights from its main base, London Heathrow Airport. 26 domestic flights were grounded, including 3 of the 7 planned round trips from Heathrow to both Edinburgh and Glasgow. Airline blames COVID-related staff shortages. So all of our UK guys over there, I hope that didn't affect you on your travel. Our old buddy O'Neill Koza down in Florida, Margaritaville at Sea is officially entering the cruise industry with Margaritaville at Sea Paradise, which is fresh off a huge transformation in the Bahamas. O'Neill said there are very significant changes on board with a lot of emphasis on product delivery and entertainment. Of course, O'Neill is the CEO of the new company, Margaritaville at Sea. He's been a guest on the show a couple times, a frequent contributor to Chillie's Cruises. The company's first revenue sailing is May the 14th from Palm Beach, as the ship will offer 2-night cruises to Freeport in the Bahamas with the brand's Jimmy Buffett theme. I will be on that ship, and I don't remember the date. I want to say it's sometime in September or October. After the pandemic lockout of more than 2 years, New Zealand is fully opening its borders starting 11:59 p.m. on July the 31st. Cruise ships allowed to come back to ports on the same day. New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern announced the news today, adding that the opening of New Zealand to the world is 2 months earlier than previous time frame was announced. The news that cruise ships will soon return to New Zealand ports without restrictions has been greeted by the cruise industry with a sense of optimism and relief. After 2 years of hardship, hundreds of local suppliers and tourism operators can start rebuilding their businesses, helping communities that have suffered during the past 2 years. Terrific news for our buddies down under. New Zealand following suit of Australia. So they're going to get everything going down there shortly. Terrific news. On a personal note, I spent a good bit of the afternoon yesterday with Mr. Bucket List. You know, we bumped into each other the day before. We did meet and had several adult beverages. What a great guy Justin is. I enjoyed the afternoon. He's actually going to interview me this time. You know, I interviewed him, I don't know, sometime last year. And now he wants me to return the favor because he's got some questions about accessibility issues. So he's going to interview me on, I don't know, our next C day, whatever day that is, Thursday. Tom, that sounds like a great afternoon you have planned. And I see my signal came back, so hopefully it didn't blank you guys out totally. Hot Air Tom says his cousin is back in the hospital again. She's not allowed to drive, but apparently set up in her car yesterday and ended up in a ditch. Wow. Nikki says more tests on the way. Sorry about that, Nikki. Good heavens. Still not happy. Want to get to the bottom of this. Maybe blockage. Oh, no. Well, just keep hanging in there, Nikki. That's all I can tell you. A better day is coming. Promise you that. Think about cruising. That always helps.